Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. I'm your host, Chuck Charlton, and so we've got 14 for the day. And what I wanted to talk to you about is that there's this whole silent market of properties that really, doesn't get discussed, and we have so much access to stuff that's coming out. I mean, I think about my meetings. A meeting with a couple on Monday who's got a 3,200 square foot home by the escarpment, great views of the escarpment. So there's stuff like that. There's a townhouse that I'm in touch with. There's a $1 million house a little bit further out in the country with some unbelievable views. So there's all these things that are happening that I'd love to be in touch with you about. So all you need to do, hit reply to any of my emails and let me know what you're looking for. Because in addition to being plugged into the system and all the listings that are out sort of quote unquote on the market on the MLS, there's this whole other side called the silent market where even other agents tell me what's coming up, and all these opportunities present themselves before they're even on. So I'd be really excited to make a match, and we do that a couple times a year with our clients, but I'd love to open that access to you as well. So just let me know and then we'll see what we can do there. So 14 listings for the day. The first one up is Septimus Heights, and so that reminds me almost of like an Autobot name in the Transformers, if you want me to nerd out on you there. 1051 square feet. It's an Ashfield model. Kitchen, breakfast bar open up to the dining room, and then you also have a living room. 2 bedrooms upstairs. This is the smaller one. Then you also have a master bedroom. The photos are not great, but it is a pretty popular model. One of these just sold actually, and I thought it was, well, it was just strictly on paper, it was more upgraded than this one. Sold for a few thousand less than what these guys are asking. Now I thought that was a very competitive, I actually thought the buyers got a great deal on that one. But if this one sold for more than that, I would shake my head and go, it just doesn't make sense. McDowell Crescent is $334. And so it's the larger model. It's the Spring Valley was actually the name of this one here. Very similar to the new Woodbine model, 1,357 square feet. They're a little bit older. They're probably 8 or 9 years old by now. And you can even see things like the vinyl tile in the kitchen. I believe that's vinyl tile. It used to be an upgrade for Mattamy to put ceramic in, believe it or not. So in the earlier phases, that was one of those things that people paid extra for. There's a park right down at the end of the street. There's lots of green space close by, and the schools here are fantastic. Now, I don't know if that's as much of a benefit for these people because most people who have school-age kids are jumping out of these ones and they're moving to something with a backyard, 2-story, that kind of stuff. So what else? The 3-bedroom version of this one, it gets a little bit of a premium because there are people that need 3 bedrooms, but it's mostly the size is much more related to, or the price is more related to the size of the home and the model, because some people would gladly trade 3 smaller rooms to actually get 2 larger rooms. And so that's what we see with these. It comes down to personal preference, but having the 3rd opens up a little bit more options. That's why they tend to be a little bit more popular, but it's very, very close. Okay, so we've got Hampshire Way, $359. It's newer than the previous one, but it's also $25,000 more, and it's the same size. Plus, there's an extra $60 fee here. Now, I haven't checked recently to see if there's been anything sold. These have just started to close, so I'm not sure if there is actually a bar that's been set on these ones. They're also competing against the other ones over on Derry, the new Mattamy ones that are much larger. So $359 to me, I think there's better value out there elsewhere. But let's see what happens. Sometimes the new and the exciting and everything else could really pull in a buyer. Barton Street is, I think, really exciting. So $365 is the price. 66 by 132 is the lot size, which is a perfect size for a developer, somebody who's looking to rip the house down. We've seen vacant lots in this area. One on Robert basically went for $400,000. So building lots can go anywhere from maybe $320 to up to the $400. The home itself doesn't look too bad, so it might even be something where you get in here, you even get some rental income from the house while you're getting your plans done and everything else, get someone in for a year. But that's a good price for this one here. It's tucked into Barton. Maybe doesn't have the name that I think, you think about some of the properties on King and Robert, Miles and all that stuff, some of those that have really been done. I think Barton's ready. There's been a couple customizations on this street, and I think that it's ready to kind of take it up a notch. And some of the older bungalows, I think you're going to start to see things getting replaced on that street. So that's a good one. I'm really excited by that, especially if you're looking at putting a new home on there. Mullet Lane is $393, and so it's a front back house. You can see the four-story Bristol on Main there. So Main Street is right behind this home. The reason I call it front back because there's a front door here, or a back door, I don't even know. And then you also have a door through the back of the house on the Main Street side. So it's pretty spacious. It's semi-detached $393, which is a little bit higher than we've seen most of the semis sell for in this area. There's not a finished basement. The ones that have sold close to this have had finished basements. So the long and short of it is that I feel like there is better value elsewhere. The location's good in the sense that it's close to the GO train. It's within walking distance of a lot of things, easy to get on the highway. But being behind or in front or whatever, looking at Main Street, it's a tough one. So this one on Landsborough is $450, and we're looking at a home that's probably about 1,800 square feet. Nice upgrades inside, and I can't remember the wording they used, but it's like a sprawling view of a ravine. So anyways, it's 3 bedrooms, which if you're going to pay $450 for a semi, my advice is usually try and get a 4th bedroom. But the views are nice. It seems like a good location. Yes, sweeping ravine views is what it says. So let's see what happens. I've seen worse semis go for that price. So Zimmerman $464. It's a detached home with 3 bedrooms, no finished basement. I believe there's some hardwood floors on the main level. You've got 9-foot ceilings, which make a big difference, and you're on a 40 by 109-foot lot, which is a great size property. Sundial built these homes, and again, school district, fantastic, same as McDowell. But I think the main thing is that it's got the old Milton lot. It has the new Milton style of home. I'm guessing this one's about 1,700 square feet. So next up, 1079 Solomon Court, $499. A little bit more basic inside carpet, no appliances. It says it has air conditioning, but I wouldn't always take that as gospel on the listing. We can't see it on here, but it could be tucked in on the other side. No fence, no window coverings, again, no appliances. So there's extra costs on top here. If it is more than 2,000 square feet, I'd say, you know, they probably aren't that far off, but just remember that there's a lot of extra stuff you're going to have to put into this home. So, you know, if you're writing that check, you just want to make sure that you're getting the right value. So Bessie Trail is $528, and it looks like a Shady Glen 2. So you've got some dark hardwood stairs. You've got a living dining just to the left of the entrance. That's the living dining right here. You've got some crown moldings, hardwood floors. There's your family room. There's your kitchen. It's got a great main floor. I think that hardly anyone complains about the main floor. What they changed in the Shady Glen 2 is that they actually have a better upstairs, 4 bedrooms, more closet space in the master. You've got just more space in this one. So it's 25 square feet, I think, 528. Seems a little bit high. I mean, the last couple that have sold, there's been some really nice ones that have sold for closer to 500 to 510. Hampshire Heights is a Quincy corner, and I don't know what set of information they're looking at 539. I think it is a nice looking home, but the highest sale for this model I think has been at 520, and I wouldn't say that it's record-breaking material inside. Very efficient use of space. When you have 1,878 square feet with 4 bedrooms and a laundry upstairs, it is a double car garage. Okay, so it is a corner. It's got a little bit of a wider lot here. But I don't know if I agree with the pricing on this one here. So Laurier is $582, and so we're looking at about 2,250 square feet. You've got a nice 36 by 105 foot lot, which isn't too bad at all. And so the rest of the house, to me, is okay. The 9-foot ceilings are good. The lighter kitchen cabinets can be a bit of a tricky sell, especially with the wider appliances. So I see better value for sure elsewhere. Fourth line is $639. Got a bungalow that's about 150 by 220, and so it's south of Derry, north of Clark. So the thing about this one is that it's in an area that mostly is developed, so that's one of those things where you'd look and say, okay, what's the future for this one? What is the land worth? Much more than just saying, is it just a house that we could actually use on our own? So interesting potential here. You'd really want to look at zoning, look at what the future has basically in store for that land. So Wigglesworth is $649. We're dealing with a home that's probably, I think it's 2,600 square feet, and you're backing onto a pond, which is really nice. And I think the finishes are good too. So you've got some dark kitchen cabinets, you've got a bit of an island, you've actually got 2 functional spaces here, gas range, you've got some nice floors in this one. You know what? It looks really nice. I think the price is bang on, and there's actually a lot of demand in this range. From about the 6 to 7 range, there's a lot of people looking to upgrade right now. We can see the demand there from the number of showings. McDougal's 724, 3053 square feet. It's a Vanderwood model, so it's the biggest property that Mattamy built on a 46 by 80 foot lot. They're not really doing 46-foot lots anymore. Inside, you've got a living dining. You've got a front room, which you could use as a home office, so like an extra den. You've got your family room plus your kitchen here that they overlook each other. Some decent upgrades in the kitchen. So the home itself, my guess would be it's probably somewhere in the 6 to 650 range on its own, and then you add this finished basement here, and it has a kitchen. There may be some benefit to them, but I really don't think that the basement's worth any more than $50,000 to $75,000. So I have a real tough time with the valuation on this one at $724,900. I think about what else you can get in the range, and it to me, there's other homes that I would definitely choose before this one. So that's the list for today. There's 14 listings, and again, just a reminder, if you are interested in the stuff that's not even for sale yet, there's a huge database of things there, and we'd love to plug you into it. So just send me an email, give me a call. Be glad to help. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.